It's an orange juice.
What's up, everyone? This is OJ. With the advent of trades, we've opened up Pandora's box. It's now possible to max any cards in the game with trades in under 5 days. That's right, 5 days. My clanmate Seft went on a mission. Max level graveyard. Before we take you on his journey on how he got his legendary max and what we've learned along the way, we want to give you a few steps and pointers before and after Seft's long and exhausting journey. Number 1, make sure you have enough legendaries to trade to get to max first of all. Number 2, make sure you're certain that's indeed that legendary that you want to max, because after you upgrade it, all of those legendaries and your gold are gone. You upgrade it, you got no more legendaries to trade. Number 3, you will be leaving your clan, so let your clan know that you're going on a journey and you'll be back. You're definitely going to lose out on war days and collection days by leaving, so be as efficient as possible. So obviously you'll want to hit up your clan to see if anyone has the cards they want for trade. We had a clanmate, System, who wanted to trade away graveyards, saving ourselves a token and getting a start to max our graveyards. We're starting off the mission with 7 out of 20 graveyards. Our plan was to rip through as many clans as possible until we found someone who was trading away graveyard for any other legendary. We went into this clan called One Legion and asked if anyone needed any legendaries. George's wanted an ice wizard and he had a graveyard to give. Perfect. He even had a token. We had a cooldown of 30 minutes. We're back online and he waited for our cooldown to end before posting. That way, no one could snipe. Our first and only gentleman. So we have a mini account in King of Kings where we joined and asked anyone if they had graveyards to give away. No one there really uses graveyards, so we had some good chances. We actually promised Boklocken he'd be in an OJ video if he traded us a graveyard. He actually had to. That's amazing. He posted one with our name on it while it was on cooldown. It got hijacked by Clock Tower. Come on, Clock Tower. Come on. Bok had 2 graveyards, but only 1 token left. Good enough. That got us to 9 out of 20 graveyards. We come back and NVD had 2 tokens with 2 graveyards. Bam! Got another one, and now we're at 10 out of 20. We only had to wait 15 minutes for the back-to-back trade, so we told him to take down the trade because Clock Tower is a trade sniper, and to put it back in 15 minutes because he's gonna steal it if we don't. Bam! Double trade is done. We're at 11 out of 20 graveyards. This is a solid start. We just needed 9 more graveyards, just 9 more. Now the real grind starts as we join random clans and trade. We found a clan called The Hat and someone wanted Magic Archer. Great. We let him know that we had dibs on that. We have a 2.5 hour cooldown, so we have to pray that no one snipes the trade in that 2-hour cooldown because it is just a painful wait. Come back 2.5 hours later, the trade is still up. Yes! Now we're at 12 out of 20 graveyards is when we realized using the tab for the quick scan is the most efficient way when clan hopping, so just scrolls up. You can join the clan, trade donations, check the tab. If anyone has graveyard, if they don't, leave, join the next one. Boom, bada bing, bada boom. It's really efficient. If you're at school or work, this is perfect. Join a clan as soon as you're on break, or you can get a glimpse of your phone. Ask if anyone has graveyard before you leave to do errands. That way, when you come back 2 hours later, someone in the clan might actually reply yes, and you can trade right away. Never be clanless when you're on the hunt. Even when you're not hunting, you're hunting, if that makes sense. We joined this clan where we saw this trade for E-Barbs for Royal Giant, and this is right after the buff to the Royal Giant. We kinda wanted to wait for that trade, so we asked anyone if they had graveyard. But this time we also listed all the legendaries that we had to trade if anyone was interested. We ended up leaving to complete our ultimate goal of maxing that legendary. Eventually we found a clan, noticed someone wanted a Mega Knight or an Ice Wizard. Even though we don't have an Ice Wizard, we asked them if he had a graveyard instead before signing off. Remember, not only can you find an exact trade of one that you have and one that they're asking for. If you have something that they're asking for, ask them to switch it for the legendary that you're looking for. We had no response after we came back to check on it, so we ended up leaving, just moving on. We found a clan called Alberta Crew and saw I Fight You had a Lava Hound for a graveyard. We told them that we've got a 2-hour cooldown before we left. So we're logging back on. It's 2.5 hours later. We find that Flo stole our trade. That's one of the worst feelings when that happens to you. We had a trade token and didn't want to really waste our 2.5-hour cooldown for that. So Prince Philly traded me for a Lava Hound, which got us to 13 out of 20 graveyards. Remember, once your trade is complete, move on to the next clan and ask again before you put your phone back in your pocket. So we got into a clan that had graveyard for Magic Archer. We didn't have the Magic Archer, so we took a screenshot of that clan's tag, realized we could trade for a Magic Archer and use that Magic Archer to trade for the graveyard. Now we're looking for graveyards and a single Magic Archer. The risk with this is that the wait time for 2 trades is now 5 hours altogether, and someone could snipe in that time during that cooldown. So it's a little risky, and it's a bit of a work. Anyways, we found a clan called Pine Trees, and Drosho was looking for Ewiz for graveyard. We knew we had that 2.5 cooldown. We request cards for donations because we were going to be there for a little bit. So we also asked for a Magic Archer just in case somebody had that as well. We come back when the cooldown's just about to expire, counting down the seconds. Got it, we're at 14 graveyards now. On the hunt again, we quickly found another clan that had Lumberjack for graveyard. The scary thing about this trade is that it was just posted less than 10 minutes ago. Because it's fresh with a 2.5-hour cooldown, we're at a bit of a disadvantage. It has a high risk of someone trading it before we even catch it. So we come back to check on the status of the trade and if it got sniped before it could. We got asked if we're sticking around, and if you ever get asked that question, say yes. Some leaders and co-leaders will kick you out if you just lounge around looking for trades to snipe. It's all about that trade, baby. It's all about you. So we start making conversation about their clan, chill out, and just kind of, hang out, be friends with them. We come back and wow, Daru jacked our trade. This is why it's risky to see a fresh trade. All that brown nosing for nothing. Found a new clan, saw Mega Knight for graveyard. 2.5 hours, here we go again. We noticed the trade was over a day ago. This is looking really good. This is looking really juicy. Chances are really good. We always ask how everyone's doing and make conversation just in case we might get kicked for being a dirty hopper. 2.5 hours later, we come back, the trade, and we're at 15 out of 20. Easy peasy. Hunt goes on, we found another clan. Someone's looking for an Ewiz for a graveyard, but we didn't have any Electro Wizards, but we did legit have one in the shop. Tip: never buy one from the shop to trade until your trade cooldown is over. Because if you accidentally waste those 40,000 gold, you're buying something that you're not going to be able to trade. And you're going to get sniped and you're going to be sad. We come back and we find Mohab asking to do the trade for a bandit instead. What do? Flood the chat. Just flood the chat. He has a harder chance of reading it, buying time for our cooldown. Just 1 page of rants, that's all you need. Just enough to not see it when people log on, and also not too much to the point where you're being annoying and you'll get kicked. You gotta find that balance where you're just blocking the chat. So no one responded to any of our comments after the great flooding. Counting down the seconds, we forgot to buy the Ewiz in the shop because we were so nervous. But we did end up getting that trade to make it 16 graveyards, baby. The hunt goes on. We're only 4 away. We see someone wants Magic Archer for the graveyard. Screenshot just in case we can find a Magic Archer so that we can come back. But moving on, we find another clan with a trade. Log for graveyard. 2.5 hour wait again. We come back and find that someone sniped that trade before our cooldown was up. But it doesn't matter. We go back to Crazy Canucks because that last clan had it, so it's still there. It's been there for a day and a half, so that was a good screenshot. We caught that trade and now we're at 17 out of 20. We rip it through all the other clans to find another trade. Inferno Dragon for graveyard. Beauty. Come back 2.5 hours later. Trade is complete. We're only 2 graveyards away. 2 graveyards to max a legendary. Our first max legendary. So we find another trade. It's bandit for graveyard. No bandit. We'll screenshot the clan just in case. So we find another clan who wants a Lumberjack for graveyard. Wait 2.5 hours for that. Complete the trade. We're at 19 out of 20 graveyards, but we noticed it was for a trade that was recently posted and not the one that we intended to trade. So it's kind of a good thing because now that that first trade is way up there and it's safe from prying eyes, we screenshot this clan just in case we find another Lumberjack so we can come back and kind of snipe it one more time. We can't find Stormer Z for a trade that had the bandit for the graveyard, so we try another clan that we saved, but they're both full. Are you serial? They're both full? Both of the clans are full? Really? We find another clan that wants log for princess. Traded that because we knew where to go to give that princess for the graveyard. So we gave the log for the princess for the graveyard. We forgot to screenshot the clan, so we only had the clan name. It's a common clan name, so it was a little bit harder to find. We had to find the right clan, so we start looking at the trophies, scrolling through everything. We find the player, the Piker, found him. Trade is still there. 2.5 hours later, we come back, make conversation, kind of just butter them up, tell them that, you know, we'll donate like mad. Don't worry, we loyal, we faithful, we don't cheat, we don't climb hops, we're here to stay forever. We're back. The trade is still there. We complete the final trade to get 20 out of 20 graveyards. Yes.
Fudge.
Yeah, but Seth can't upgrade it because he's too poor on gold, because he spent that 40,000 gold on that E-Wiz. Oh, man. So Seth comes back to Juice, completes the Rage Challenge, and that is enough gold to max the graveyard. Woo! All in all, that entire trade to get a max legendary took about 5 days of on and off scouting, and if we had the knowledge we have now, we believe you can max a legendary from 0 to 20 in under 3 days. From all of the experience, we've kind of noticed that things could have sped up if we were a bit more efficient. So what we learned in the process, try to save your trade tokens if possible, unless you find someone who's willing to trade and doesn't have that token. So that's when you bust out your token. Anytime you leave your account, make sure you're in a clan and actively seeking trades. If you're not going to be on for half an hour, might as well be in the clan and ask for the trade, so that when you come back, someone might be interested and that cooldown might be over already. So since you've been there for a while, you might as well just request for donations while you're waiting. Leave the clan if there are no opportunities, if there's no interest after a couple minutes, just ditch them, just bail. The best trophy range to join in clans are anything above 3,800. The thought process behind this is because people don't tend to have any spare legendaries under this trophy range and only have one of each legendary only. Try to trade for popular legendaries. We found that Magic Archer and Mega Knight were the two most popular legendaries during our trades, but what you can do is keep track of the trades you see that are alive. We made a little document tracking the clan tags and what trades were inside each clan, and when we maximized all of those opportunities, we had to trade for a graveyard. From doing this, you'll eventually find the legendary that you're looking for. You just have to put in the grind and keep track. Always make a conversation when you've just joined a clan and see if there's a trade pending. Keep them interested, reel them in, just like blow them a little kiss and let them know that you're interested in staying. After all, you loyal, we loyal. If you see someone counteroffer for a trade you're waiting for, blast it with comments, blast it with emojis so that no one else sees it. But don't spam too much or they might kick you. If you find someone interested, see if they want a double trade. I know this is how to max a legendary, but you can also do this for epics, rares, and commons. So you might not have 20 legendaries to trade to max it out, but you might actually have other cards that you can max out in under a week. Seth doesn't have anything else maxed in his graveyard deck. It's pretty funny how he managed to max his graveyard before anything else. Like, I maxed all of my commons and I maxed all of my rares way before I maxed any legendary, except the E-Wiz, because I farmed that one. That was a different Anyways, good luck in trade sniping and pretend to be loyal. Trade sniping is such a mean term, but I mean, if it's like been sitting on chat for like 2 days and on my mini, if someone like just hopped into my clan and they gave me what I requested, I would kind of be happy. So this whole video made it sound like we were stealing, but it's not really stealing. It was, as long as that trade wasn't for someone else, then that was actually beneficial to both players. Thanks for watching.